yeah, I got a job as a cocktail waitress at a strip club, and I was very bad at it because I just watched the shows all the time, you know? I was just drooling over the amazing performers on stage. And so I said to the manager, I want to dance.
Okay.
And they said no, because they needed cocktail waitresses. So
But I mean, I would figure, a couple of weekends that you were so bad at it, they'd be like, okay, get on stage. Go on stage.
no, I mean, there wasn't exactly a line of people waiting to be a cocktail waitress at the strip club.
Yeah.
So
You
I
just start
quit.
spilling drinks on purpose, so they were like, "Yeah, she's not."
Right.
I didn't think of that. Yeah, I would have been very satisfying. But no, I just quit and I moved back to Vancouver, BC. And a friend of mine, Nia Nebula, she got me into an amateur competition,
Okay.
and that's how I started working on stage.
Welcome, fellow lushes. Come on in, pull up a bar stool, and enjoy some cocktails with Dimples and the Beard.
Yeah. She knows it better than me. I don't know. This just sits on.
I'm mechanically
I'm good at
inclined.
good at holding mics.
Dude, right away. What
Right.
my first critique before we get started is this smells like weed.
Oh yeah, mine too. Mine too. Mhm.
This smells
Yeah?
like weed.
Well, what are you gonna do?
You look guilty.
I packed weed in the thing.
So
Wherever it'll go.
Oh, wait. We got to cover that up, right? We don't want to get any.
yeah, we're in a state where it's not legal.
Oh, good point.
It's not
I need
legal.
to keep track when I'm traveling
Yeah,
around.
I would imagine. Yeah, and I see you're smoking, so you got to be careful around here.
I mean, it's entirely tobacco product.
There you go. There you go.
Those darn nicotine addictions.
I know.
I want to start this thing like if we were here tonight. So
There's a lot of firsts right here happening
Oh,
with you, so that's cool.
okay. Tell me.
put your hands
Well,
together. It's gonna be too loud. Put your hands together. Welcome to the podcast. Hello, Hot Wheels.
Thank you.
That was terrible, wasn't it? That was
great.
it was
Made
really.
me feel
That's an
special.
introduction.
I want to ask them tonight if I can do that for somebody.
Oh,
I mean, not necessarily you. You probably got your.
if you have money in your hand,
They-
your mind will be open.
Money, yeah.
I'm not spending money to talk into a microphone at Lickity Splitz.
I mean,
That's not where my.
Like, I wish you would.
No.
We need the money for the lap dance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Ella. We're this is a traveling episode of Cocktails with Dimples and the Beard. We're not in our normal studio. We're at Lickity Splitz in Wausau, Wisconsin.
First podcast inside a strip joint, which
That's true.
gentlemen's club.
That's
What
true.
do you prefer?
I got
Them being called. I grew up.
I like all different kinds of terms for the clubs because
Yeah.
the clubs have lots of different personalities.
So some clubs are strip joints, other
Mhm.
are gentlemen's clubs. What
Yeah.
distinguishes from the one from the other? You say
Mm,
that you frequent in that.
yeah, the seediness level it gets about.
I don't know. I think gentlemen's clubs usually will have a dress code.
with seedy people.
Maybe all kinds of people come to strip clubs. We're all perverts, I guess.
We
but
are all
but
perverts.
I mean, I dare someone to say that they're not because deep down, I think we all are.
Well, we're finding out from interviewing people, it's very, very common, and we like to be able to talk about it, and why not? If
Yeah.
that's your thing, we've learned a lot of kinks, a lot of perversion things, so
Mhm.
we're here to embrace everything and not shame
It's a
anybody.
natural part of life.
Yeah,
we
we want to. I know you introduced, but we're gonna do it so they can understand what you said.
Oh, you can.
He kind of shouted it.
I know. I'm notorious for shouting.
He's loud. He's loud regardless what he does.
I have a
You'll
very
find
loud
that.
voice.
We have the honor of talking with at Lickety Splitz in Merrill.
Nope, Wausau.
Oh, we're in Merrill.
Nope, Wausau.
Don't listen to me. You learn by now. You never listen to me. I got everything right up until then. But with us today, Ella Hot Wheels, who is performing tonight.
Yep.
Indeed.
You now introduced her twice.
I'm Ella Hot Wheels.
And if I want to introduce her 3 times, I'm going to introduce her 3 times.
Well, if you get to introduce her tonight.
There you go.
Maybe-
Welcome.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming on and just talking with us about your life and what's going on. And
Yeah, thanks for having me.
so we were talking about strip clubs, joints, gentlemen clubs.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to them all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you did have as well.
Yeah, most most different kinds, I guess, but I guess there's endless variations. Whoever wants to open one, they want to run it the way that they envision it. I'm surprised always when I go to a new club.
I got ideas for a club, but it's against the law. Go ahead.
I do. This is a unique stage. I have never seen a stage like this. I like it. It looks there's a lot of room.
I would say it's bigger than most stages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most that I've been on.
And now you're on roller skates. So obviously, have you ever walked into a place and went, no, this stage isn't big enough. I'm just
Hell no. They're paying me, I'll make it work.
all right.
I've done performances in barns, like with no stage. Yeah, it's just that's part of showmanship. You
Yeah.
just figure out a way to make it work. I always learn something. The more challenging it is, the more I learn. You know,
Okay.
I just come in a day early and I make friends with the performance area, whatever it has to offer. And yeah, and maybe I will come up with some kind of trick that I never would have had to come up with
Okay.
before, and then I'll incorporate it in my
Presented yourself
shows.
now.
So I grow as an artist from the challenges I face.
There you go.
So do you rate the stage like for slipping or traction or anything or
A lot of people are concerned about my ability to skate on the stage, but I think it's easier to roll on different surfaces than to walk in the pleaser heels. So honestly, it's yeah,
No,
I'm
for
more
the-
stable.
for the innocent folks and children at home? What are the I forgot what you just said now.
The pleasers?
The pleaser heels.
Oh.
Could you explain that to myself?
It's a platform heel.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I mean, there's lots of different sizes, you know. They make your leg look longer, the same way that like a ballet point shoe makes the line of your leg longer. They're also very noisy sometimes. It's
Are
fun for
noisy.
getting attention.
How many
Yeah.
pair do you own?
Oh gosh. Right now I probably have about 12.
Okay. Different colors,
But-
different sizes.
Oh yeah, all different kinds. But I probably use about 3 or 4.
You get the favorite ones.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
So how high is yours? What's your favorite height in a
I
pleaser
like-
heel?
I like 6 and 7-inch heels. Yeah. The 6s are great for footwork. Size doesn't matter.
God
Yeah,
damn
but-
you. Just because it's your birthday, you can't act like an animal.
Trying to envision the heel that you're walking on. That's
I
got to
can
be so
grab one
hard.
for you if you want.
Oh,
Do you want me to go grab one?
that would be amazing.
I'll bring a skate out too. If you want to spin the
Yes,
wheels a little
yes,
bit.
yes.
Okay, someone want to
Look
hold
at
my
you.
microphone?
Look at your ideas.
This is why we've never been able to talk a female to be an in-house guest yet. Because you can't fucking control. What are you doing over there? You're like, ooh, look at me, my penis.
I was trying to gauge 6 inches. That is all.
I think your edible fast acting kicked in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do, you son of a bitch.
Look what we got here. Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be wearing both of these later tonight.
Oh, later tonight, folks.
Can't wait.
This
We will be back for the
6-inch.
performances.
It's a nice outdoorsy look.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the most bootish looking
Boot that you've ever seen?
pleaser heel I've ever
It
seen.
goes with my theme,
Oh, okay.
my
There you go.
costume.
That's why.
so it's chosen on purpose. Yes. So yeah.
But you don't get to see the toes in that one. Do you have,
the toes.
yeah, are feet a big thing for some guys?
Some guys,
Of course, yeah.
not all guys.
Lots of men and women. Like
Were you, are you going to wear pleaser heels with more exposure tonight or just these two?
just these heels and
The
then
rest in the skate.
roller skates.
All right.
Yeah, that's the plan for tonight. And then my wheels.
Oh, look at that.
My
Oh,
own
yeah.
light show.
You're
Those-
not,
Want to spin that?
thank you.
I'll hold it.
Look at this.
Mhm. If you're sitting at the stage, I may let you do that during the show.
Ooh.
I will be by the stage and it is my birthday. So I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to like.
you may need some
the opposite
confetti.
direction.
Yeah, so you can
So
see
yeah,
my-
you mentioned confetti.
Oh look, I have some on my shoe already from last night. Yep.
Badass.
Yeah, but it rolls pretty smoothly.
Those are some old school skates too. Those look like you've had them a while.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not my first pair.
Okay.
But yeah.
It looks like the top half is like this is old and it's been it's been around a while, but the bottom this looks all
latch.
brand new and
I take good care of them.
yeah.
Yeah. The velvety part, that's not really, it doesn't hold up as well. I do my best. I've got the toe caps there
Cute.
to
Yeah.
help it out, but the kind of dancing that I do drag the boot on the stage quite a bit. So
Okay.
yeah, they get worn out.
So what came first, dancing or skating?
In my life,
In your life.
dancing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a close call though, because I did skate as a kid growing up, going to roller rinks, but I didn't start. Well, my first show as an adult entertainer was on roller skates.
Oh wow.
Right off the
Yeah.
bat.
Yeah, I didn't know how to pole dance.
Okay.
So I played roller derby. So I thought, okay,
Oh.
well, I'm already making a crazy decision in life. What's a pair of roller skates? Why not just go all the way? So,
Okay, so you did dance and you skate like we all did as a child in the roller rink and everything.
Yeah.
But did you just love it more than like other your friends that you just continued doing it into your adulthood, or did you bring it back later to throw on stage?
I brought it back later.
Okay.
Yeah. As a kid, I skated, and then I had a lot of interests, and I went really deep into cooking. I worked in kitchens for years.
Oh wow.
Love it.
Yeah, I was a cake decorator for a while. That was
Okay.
awesome. And then I ended up with celiac disease, so that was really tough. And I switched gears. I went out roller skating with a friend one night, and we saw these derby girls come out with their jerseys
Yeah,
and
yeah.
their crazy names, and they were badass, and we were so impressed. So my friend and I both signed up to train for roller derby.
So where was this, and what was the name of your team?
This was in Vancouver, BC.
Okay.
We got drafted to different teams. We went through the whole process
Holy
together.
cow.
Oh, you
And,
get drafted. Wow. Okay. All right. I didn't realize that.
With no
I thought
stats.
you
It's
just
not like you're coming out of college and you have stats for them to look at.
yeah.
So-
Right. Right.
I
Did
mean,
you have
it's
to?
just
Was there an
fun.
audition
Yeah.
or a
you have-
tryout? I should say more.
Yep.
What
It's a
did you
very
have to
involved
prove
process.
that you could do?
There's a lot of skills that you
Yeah.
have to be able to do, because people get injured in roller derby. It's full contact sport.
Yeah.
You're on wheels. It's dangerous. So
That's why
they don't want people to get injured unnecessarily. So
True.
yeah, you have to be able to, I think, I can't remember the number of laps, but there's a certain amount of laps you have to do in 5 minutes.
Okay.
You have to be able to, balance on one foot for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And it's on an angle, right? The whole.
Bank tracks do still exist, but for the most part, derby's flat track now.
Oh wow.
Because
not
bank
know that.
tracks are hard to maintain, and you have to have a whole facility for it,
Sure.
and it's more dangerous.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
yeah.
would imagine the speeds are a little faster on the banks.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was your badass roller derby name Ella Hot Wheels, or did you have something?
My roller derby name started out as Odd Complex, and then I changed it to Ox, which I thought was really fun because I was the smallest.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're a tiny, tiny little human being. I don't know if that translates sitting next
No,
to
and
it, but
I'm-
you're a
I
tiny
had to
human
have
being.
a big personality and a big name
True.
to make up for it, right?
So I'm trying to envision you
I
going,
love the names that that they
Yeah.
come up with.
going through and trying to knock someone over. With-
Yes, I think everybody, when I tell them I played roller derby, they
Yeah.
immediately ask about the getting elbowed, which is not legal. It's not legal.
Really?
You got to do. It's kind of like hockey, you got to do the shoulder check and the heel check.
Uh,
Sometimes elbows just happen, but you get
Hell
the
yeah.
penalty box for that. So, yeah,
It's funny growing up. I honestly thought roller derby was all a show. I never thought it was
it used to be.
okay.
It's gone through a lot of phases.
Yeah, I thought
and
it was
there
like
a-
professional
Like
wrestling
wrestling.
kind of a thing.
Yes, there was a time span that was the case.
but yours
Okay.
was real.
Have you ever gotten
Yeah.
hurt? Have you ever gotten hurt playing?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like
Like every time.
how serious of a hurt?
Concussions
Oh,
were
shit.
the worst of it. Yeah.
Hardwood floor. Yeah, I guess so.
Yep.
I'm guessing you were what do they call them? The point person or the score or whatever. I mean, they kind of
I
Sure.
did more jamming because I could go faster because I was smaller and I could get in between.
Yeah,
people.
right.
I was not very good as a blocker because how am I going to stop?
You're
Who are
gonna
you
get run
stopping?
over.
I don't know. Yeah, no offense. Who are you stopping?
So I got checked off the track a lot
Mm.
and knocked down a lot, but I had a lot of fun. Yeah.
Do they keep stats? I mean, do you like how many hits, how
Yes.
many people you knock
No.
down?
No,
I don't know.
not like that. No.
Okay, then what kind of stats would they keep?
I don't know, probably the amount of time that you're on the track, the number of bouts that you're in, the number of points that you score. You get a point for every person on the opposite team that you pass
Okay.
as a jammer. So
You get points for
yeah.
What do you think? What do you think they were trying to do?
every time I think of rollerball in my head where they have a metal
Oh.
ball and you try and score, but it obviously you're not.
No. There's no ball involved in what I was doing. Yeah.
How long did you skate?
I played derby for a couple of years, but I wasn't on that's including the time that I was training and getting drafted. I decided I wanted to be on a stage by myself where no one could bump me off. So
Less bruises.
yeah.
Okay.
I love the stylistic part of it, and I was just drawn to more skate dancing. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'd learned very quickly how to handle myself on skates by my roller derby experience. So
Yeah, that's a great introductory course to,
mhm.
and like you said, so now you've taken the skates to the stage, and I honestly think, like you were saying, the skates are probably easier to be on there than the heels, aren't they?
Yeah.
Those heels look like, I mean,
I don't know
obviously
how
as a
people
guy,
do it.
we're never going to be able to pull it off, but have you
No.
well,
I
I
mean,
tried.
drag queen's pretty good.
that's true. That's true.
There's some that can run in them. They have drag races where they're running in those heels.
Well,
Sounds like,
I mean,
did you just say drag? Is that a real thing? Are they called drag races?
Actually, here in Stevens Point, they have them.
that's a drag race I haven't seen. I've
We're-
seen a couple other kinds of drag races.
You're gonna have to
but-
fact check that. I might have to edit that out.
No,
We're gonna have to
we're
fact check that for sure.
Jeff told us about it.
Yeah, he's a trustworthy source.
It would
So
be fun to watch.
It would be fun to
Would be.
watch. They're just cruising. What were we talking about? You getting into dancing?
Yes.
Did you visit strip joints prior to working in them? Was it a fun?
Not many, to be honest.
Yeah.
I went to a couple of them. Yeah, and I think okay, so I got started in the strip club industry by being a cocktail waitress. And
Okay.
my intention was to become a bartender. And I wasn't having very much luck because even though I spent 15 years working in kitchens and I know how to make, I know how to use a recipe.
Anything.
But being a bartender is about personality and interaction with people. And when
Not left
people
alone
say-
back in your kitchen where you can
yeah,
take care of it. Yeah.
usually the people in the back of the house are very antisocial. So it was a hard sell for me to get a bartending job.
Okay.
So I got a job as a cocktail waitress at a strip club, and I was very bad at it because I just watched the shows all the time. I was just drooling over the amazing performers on stage. And so I said to the manager, I want to dance. And
Okay.
they said no, because they needed cocktail waitresses. So
But a company, I would figure, a couple of weekends that you were so bad at it, they'd be like, okay, get on stage. Go on stage.
no, there wasn't exactly a line of people waiting to be a cocktail waitress at the strip club.
Yeah.
So
You
I
just start
quit.
spilling drinks on purpose, so they were like, "Yeah, she's not."
Right.
I didn't think of that. Yeah, I would have been very satisfying. But no, I just quit and I moved back to Vancouver, BC, and a friend of mine, Nia Nebula, she got me into an amateur competition,
Okay.
and that's how I started working on stage. Yeah.
Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you had no hesitations that first time you went up. It seems like you're confident and relaxed enough that you didn't
Well,
have butterflies, or did you?
I was in Kitimat, BC, which is a very small town, middle of nowhere, in a very rundown old ass bar. And the bar was very low. Like the expectations were very low. So
Yeah.
it didn't matter. It was a great place to build the bones of my shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're from there for a while?
I just went up there for, I think it was a 10-day booking. So in Canada, the bookings are, if you're on the circuit, you're usually in one place for like a week, and then you go,
Okay.
you're on the road as a showgirl.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you want to be on stage. If you're
Okay.
not doing that, you're usually not on stage at all. You're just selling private dances.
Uh,
So I knew I wanted to be on stage, so I immediately
You
started
did.
working the circuit. Yeah.
You like the what's your favorite part about being on stage?
Um, I don't know. Like I just feel like I have it in me. I'm just a live entertainer. I like interacting with
Attention?
people.
A
I
little bit?
think I mean, I went to school for dance. I went to university for contemporary dance, and I love dancing,
Yeah,
but
obvious.
learning choreography, someone else's choreography, and just performing it, it's fun, but being a showgirl and being in the moment of the creation of art, where what you have to work with is the people that
Mhm.
are around you and the music that inspires you. There's just something about that that's as an artist is really satisfying.
Okay.
And it stays fresh because every show is different because the people are always different.
yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, I don't know. I just feel really alive and in the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned your music. How much thought do you? I assume you pick all your own music. How much thought
Yeah.
goes into it?
Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Endless thought. I
Good
never
answer.
stop thinking about it, and then when I think I've got my perfect set of music for my theme, you can't use it forever.
Right.
People have seen it a couple times.
Yeah, I
You
gotta
gotta
change it
switch
up, right?
Yeah.
New music comes along. People want to hear the new stuff. So
That's true too. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
an
No-
endless process, but it's fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how often do you think of new routines, and what starts first? Like the theme, a move you did that you're like, this would fit good with this type of song, or
I like being inspired from a lot of different directions. So if I'm feeling kind of stagnant, like I've been doing the same shows, I'm not feeling that fire, and I need to create something new, it's either maybe I'll go with like a costume idea, or maybe it'll be a song, or yeah, maybe I'll start learning a new skill. Um, I don't know. It comes from a lot of different places.
Sure.
And then that's the starting point, and that's the hardest part, is just getting the starting
first-
point and then
okay.
building around it. It just is a matter of trial and error and creativity.
and I think it'd be fun to be able to like put together a costume and then all changes just to make it perfect for what you envision.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's informed by the reactions of people. So
I suppose.
my Zelda show, which I did last night, I've had like that show has evolved over many years. It continues to evolve based on what happens in the moment on stage. Last night, okay, I have this poster. I can bring it out if you want to see it. It's the idea of the show is I'm Zelda and I'm looking for Link because he's been gone for way too long in the woods, and I'm horny and I just need some attention. And so I have this poster, and it's a missing poster, like maybe
that-
person's
okay,
poster for
okay.
Link. Yeah. And usually I have it in a big frame, and I come out and I have people draw on it sometimes with a marker. But
Oh,
I flew here, so I couldn't bring my big
sure. Bring one.
frame. So instead, last night I printed one off and I rolled it up, and I went on stage and I did a big dramatic like unroll,
Okay.
and it went over really well. So now that's gonna probably happen. in
Continue with
future
that.
shows.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, even a little tiny moment like that, especially at the beginning of a show, can change how the bar reacts to me for the rest of the night.
Yeah,
So-
it's like a comedian in the first joke. If you hit
Exactly.
with that first joke, they're eating out of your hands. If that first joke bombs, you're fucked.
Yep.
It's a long 10
It's
minutes.
a long one.
So how long is an
Good.
Ella Hot Wheels show?
My skate shows run about 10 to 12 minutes. It's just they're really physically demanding.
Yeah.
So I like to keep it high energy. And then I want to leave when they're still wanting more.
Absolutely.
The shows I do in shoes are about 15. If I'm in Canada, 18.
Oh,
Because that's just the requirement.
Okay.
In your
Oh, really?
contract, it says
Different things.
18 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we do have contracts here in the US as well, but the bars are a lot more flexible with it.
Okay.
You know, they
Hmm.
just
I had
And-
no idea. been to a lot of strip joints in my life, believe it or not.
But you never sat down and talked to them about business?
Well, maybe, I don't know. But I just always assumed every girl went up for 2 songs, and then you're like, okay, on to the next
Oh,
list.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's very common, having a rotation with all of the dancers. Yeah. I don't think many places have features
Yeah,
as
that's
much
true.
as they used to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes sense that would be your
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
But now the features here
Mm-hmm.
and skating.
Mm-hmm.
And you started this now within your show. Do you do the skates and the heels, or like you said, you had 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock shows.
Yeah.
So it's one skate and one
Yes.
heels. Okay.
Mhm. If I'm doing a competition, then I might take the skates off so that I can do some other tricks that require bare feet or heels. But it takes a long time
I
to
would-
unlace them. And it's
Sexiness kind of wears out when
I have
when
to
you're
come up with some interesting ideas to entertain people while I'm doing that. You know, I'll try to sit in someone's lap and
oh
and give them a difficult task or something while like
Not it.
hold my tits in place while I, or something like that. Something to embarrass
ever
them
need
or,
help,
or make everybody else laugh or
right?
Oh,
Well, you got-
remember that for later. Are you blushing? Is he blushing?
He doesn't blush easily, but yeah, there might be a little blush there.
60. Good job. Let's see if we can do it again. So many times you can make me blush. So yeah, first time on stage, fell in love, or how soon was it when you got back up again?
As a stripper or
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I did the amateur competition.
Right.
And then the agent was there and he was like, all right, we're sending you off to Kitimat.
Wow.
So that was a 10-day booking and my
Right away.
shows were already determined. So what definitely wasn't like a choice at that point. I mean, I could have left if I wanted to,
Sure.
but yeah, no, it was kind of good because I was just thrown into the deep end and I had to make it work. You don't really get training in this industry.
Thrown to the
so-
wolves, right?
Yeah, I had my friend with me to show me the ropes. She gave me my first lap dance, so
Okay.
I had no idea what
that's a
to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just learning to dance, and is that a requirement to do lap dances?
In
Is it-
Canada, yes. A
Okay,
lot of
so it's a-
places will require that as part of your contract. It's sort of controversial issue, requiring
Okay, you're
people
right.
to be doing intimate activities
then
like that.
I
You
got
know,
the point. Yeah, I want to dance, but I don't want to do that.
Right.
it's
Yeah.
better if you, as a dancer, have the authority to vet your customers, I would say.
That's
Um,
true.
Yeah. So in the US, as a feature, I haven't worked anywhere where they made me commit to a number
obligated,
of
okay.
dances. I know that in some clubs that does exist, but I would not choose to work in those clubs. Sometimes I need every spare minute to be getting ready for my show,
Yeah.
cooling down, or talking to people, like selling my posters and magnets and promoting myself, getting pictures if people want to buy pictures with me. And I just don't have time
Okay.
for dances.
Yeah, these are the things you just assume, or
Yeah.
as a first timer in a strip club.
Yeah. Yeah. You're very
First timer in the
total
I thought
amateur.
It was just your first time doing the podcast in a strip club, but it's your first time in a strip club.
I got a bridge
I
to
can't
sell you
lie.
in Brooklyn
I
too.
can't lie to you anymore.
He's been in more strip joints than
I,
you.
This
I
is-
guarantee you. Everyone you've been in, he's been in. So at some
I
point.
see.
so it's that on my actual birthday when the clock hit midnight, you run to a strip joint, and when you turn 18, that's where I've been living since then. So
Oh, okay.
We
I
have
like
plenty,
it. Customer for life.
plenty of strip joint stories in this from this podcast.
This is true.
Right.
We want to talk about your strip joint stories. So it's great. The fans keep you going.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any bad experiences with douchebags fans.
Of course, of course.
Mhm.
But that's it. Every industry has, asshole
Amen.
customers,
They
right?
do, but
So
some-
yeah, there's a little bit more, it can be more damaging in certain ways as a stripper for sure. But hopefully the club has a good security team that backs you up when you need it, and cameras and whatnot. And you really have to build your ability to set and maintain boundaries, and um to read people, which is, I think, a good life skill. I've really benefited. I've grown a lot um by learning those skills in the strip club for sure.
Yeah, because you see everybody.
you do.
You see the
People.
whole gamut of people. So,
Well, that's what I was gonna say. So over here, well, it's an example. Right here is a douchebag customer,
this one,
Mhm.
me?
and you're dancing around, and he's hollering and hooting and get over here,
Mhm.
honey, and all this stuff.
Mhm.
You just avoid that area.
No, I go and ask for money.
All right.
And then if they don't give it to me, then I walk away.
Okay.
But I do it with
That-
sass.
You control, you control
Mhm.
who you go to and who you don't.
Who's gonna fuck with somebody in roller skates? She'll kick you in the head with roller skates.
That has happened, but not on purpose.
Oh, okay.
No, I was working in a club, and the pole was pretty close to the edge.
Oh
And I
boy.
went to spin around it, and the gentleman leaned forward at the wrong time, and I hit him with my skate, and I was very concerned, but he was pretty drunk, and he just stared at me, reached into his pocket, grabbed a $20 bill, and slapped it on the stage and asked me to do it again.
How did I felt that story going that way. Like, he loved it. He
I
loved
was
it.
thinking that
It was his 19th birthday, and all of his friends were on front row, and they were all demanding I do it again, but I couldn't.
Bring
Yeah.
yourself to actually kick someone.
No,
that-
intentional. No, I wouldn't, but
Yeah.
it was a funny moment.
It was. And
No, it is what is the worst behavior for somebody on the front row? Is it completely stiffing? Is it waving the money, begging for it? Or what's the worst behavior to exhibit when you're front row here?
Gosh. Well, yeah, it's definitely not ideal for someone to be waving money and making demands. Those people are likely not going to put the money on the stage. They don't understand who is in control of the situation. So, at first that can be really jarring
Yeah.
because like I said, there's no training for this job. So you see that and you're like, well, here I am. I guess my job is to entertain them. And you get suckered a few times, and it's upsetting.
Sure.
And then you learn how to make them the butt of a joke. And then it's great. It's fine.
Wait, so but you've had guys who waved you over with the money,
Yep. And they tell you to earn it or whatnot.
and then they don't give it to you?
Yes. Most of the time, if they're doing that, they're not there to give you
Yeah.
money. They're there to
Yeah.
try to,
Degrade you a little bit.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
bigger douchebaggery than
That's the
the
big-
cheap fuck who just sits there and
Yes.
just thinks that he can sit there all night with
And that's why people think men are douchebags, or because of you.
Some
Well,
some people come in and they're, for whatever reason, they're angry, and they come in to take it out on people. But most places, I would say, are pretty good about kicking those guys out.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Right away. Get them out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, they're there for a reason, security. So let's
Mhm.
weed them out. There's always gonna be more coming at the door
Yeah.
because there's a lot of nice horny men out there that just want to watch.
It can be a really great place to have some adult fun
And-
if you,
Nah.
have some manners and understand the etiquette. And a lot of
There is
people,
an etiquette for being in the strip club.
yeah. And I think it used to be that people were taught that etiquette maybe by someone in their family, like an uncle taking their nephew out to the strip club and saying, now don't do this, and always have a tip or
Look
whatever.
what I'm doing.
Nowadays, I don't think that happens as much. So we get to explain that in the private dances.
Yeah,
So
it's
if
like-
somebody says it's my first private dance, then I have a whole speech ready for them.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it's like
Yeah.
like you saying you get thrown in the fire and nobody teaches you how to do your job. Well,
Right.
at 18 years old, nobody teaches us how to control all the
Oh,
testosterone
things
pumping through
happening.
our body either. And we come in and we're like, oh, and just start grabbing and yeah. So it's interesting to look at it from that way. That some guys just need to be taught. Now, if you're taught and you keep doing it, then fuck off.
Yeah.
But if you can learn from one mistake, then. By the way, this is a really tall pole. Do you go all the way
Yeah.
to the top of that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That's what the duck's for. I guess it squeaks. You climb to the top and you squeak the duck.
Fuck, I just know. Yeah, I just saw
It
it.
is very tall.
We have to make sure we get a picture. Of this.
Are those rings?
It's insane.
That yeah, an aerial hoop can be hung from that.
Which we see you do.
I do sometimes. I don't really perform on aerial hoop yet, but
Okay.
yeah, I like it. I enjoy it. I'm trying to, when I learn a new skill, I always try to incorporate the skates. I learn with my skates. So yeah, at some point I will probably do a roller
Okay.
skate aerial hoop show. They're really just weights on my feet at
Keeps
that point,
building.
but it looks nice. It
Yeah.
looks fun.
So it's good
Yeah,
exercise.
yeah.
You're in the
Absolutely.
ring lifting.
Oh, like that's why the skate show is, it's very physically demanding because they're heavy and they're on the end of my feet. So, but yeah, that's where I got my abs.
It's a workout.
That's a lot of weight.
And I bought really light gear to add on to the bottom. Like my first pair of skates were a lot heavier than this.
Really?
But yeah.
Jesus Christ. That is a workout.
That is. So any weird requests during lap dances from gentlemen?
Sure. Yeah. People ask for
What's your
weird stuff
weirdest?
all the time. Oh gosh. I don't know.
Getting the nitty gritty here.
I don't know.
He just wants to know what not to ask for tonight. Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
You gotta learn.
I think the weirdest experience I had, there was a guy that used to come in with dolls. Yeah.
Oh, Like
And I don't really know.
Barbie dolls or
Not really Barbie dolls, but some kind of dolls.
okay.
And I don't, yeah, I don't
At least
know
he
what-
came out of his mom's basement, so that's a start.
That's creepy.
And
it was creepy.
That's a
Yeah.
serious.
did he bring him with him to the? Are you saying he brought him with him to the private dance?
Yeah.
Did he set him up
No, I wanted to like talk about him and show him and
while you were dancing, or
yeah.
oh, he was proud of him, so he wanted to show him to you.
Yeah, I think
okay.
that probably I wasn't responding in a way that encouraged him to go as deep as he wanted to go. So I don't know if I have the full story on that because you know I ended the dance pretty quickly, like, oh, that was a fun time. Have fun with your dolls. Bye.
He was
But
odd to
yeah.
think that she's not totally engaged in these dolls.
Yeah, I heard stories about other dancers who put up
Okay.
with it for longer, and then like some kind of plastic sheeting was mentioned at one point, which
Oh,
leads into the
He was really getting into it.
yeah, more weirdo serial killer stuff. Yeah.
I went on a date with a strip. She owned the strip joint,
Mhm.
and then we went to a bar that she knew a lot of people and said introduced me. You know, we were hanging out, and the minute she walked away, they turned and were like, "We're gonna fucking kick your ass if you don't walk away and leave her alone. Well, you're not for her." Blah blah blah. And then she'd come back, and they'd be like, "Ah, we love Kevin," you know, blah blah blah. Yeah, they were big biker dudes, so I walked home.
They were
I left.
doing some good looking out.
They were.
there.
I don't know why they didn't.
Mhm.
I was not right for her.
Were you wearing a
Mm.
Were you wearing a pink shirt that said "I'm here for the lap dance"? I bought
I'm
that
not
for
supposed to
him.
wear
Yes,
those on
he
dates?
made him wear it today.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
You're gonna be
My birthday
approached by
shirt.
a lot of dancers. It's perfect. Yeah.
Thank you, Dean.
You're welcome. It's gonna be you can't use the business card for every lap dance tonight.
I'm gonna have to bring you a hat that says tip her though.
Perfect. I'll cash
That
in my
would
single.
Better,
Yeah.
by the way. Yeah. If you have one of those hats, all the dancers will love you. Mhm.
Hmm.
But you also have to have the tips.
They're always yes.
Where's the ATM?
As long as you got an ATM.
Yeah.
Probably one in every room.
With a $9 fee to get your money.
Yeah, come prepared.
That's why you should just take out a lot once.
we were
Exactly.
we were in Hollywood at a strip joint one night, and I went to the ATM for the second time, and I think that it was like $20 to get your own money. And he saved me the second time. I was like, you don't want to do that again.
Pull his card out of the. Nope. Let's just go. Go now.
Okay.
We have to still get home.
One of the things that I say in my speech to people who have it's their first time in a strip club
Okay.
is decide how much money you want to spend, get it out of, the bank ahead of time,
Mm.
show up to the club, and when it's gone, leave. And then you have a good time. You don't feel like somebody ripped you off or anything.
Yep.
Just show up with the money you want to spend and like set yourself up for a good time.
That's the whole leaving part is where I have
Yeah.
it's a hard time to do.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We do our best to make that difficult.
That's the fucking
yeah,
truth.
it takes a big dude to
Yeah.
no stripper's gonna get me to leave.
You got, do you have
Turning
like
me-
do you have a
wanna
fake
leave?
phone number in memory so you can just get like my phone number is 555-1234.
No, I love telling men, no, you can't have my phone
Yeah,
number.
that's true. Yeah.
Oh, back to the whole all
You
right.
got a little of the bad girl side in you.
Well, I mean, I just I like showing that you can have strong boundaries
Yeah.
as a woman and expect them to be appreciated and respected.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Which I would imagine in this business you have to have, and you have to. It's gotten
Yeah.
tougher over the years.
I think a lot of strip club customers are lonely guys that like maybe they don't know how to interact with women. So they come in and they actually want somebody to help clearly tell them what they should and shouldn't do without it having like a emotional cost.
Yep.
So yeah, so if I can demonstrate good communication and good boundaries to them, maybe they can then carry that with them into their
Yeah,
life.
and I would think they would
Yeah.
use it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. That's my hope.
Lessons from
I hope.
lessons at the strip
That's
club.
another one. Lessons from the
Lessons
strip club.
from a naked counselor. Yeah.
Thank you.
Best
Yeah.
kind.
There you go.
Naked therapist. Yeah.
So we
So you
were
go-
introduced to you from our friend Annie Temple.
Mm-hmm.
You Annie was on the podcast a while back, the erotic entrepreneur. How'd you meet Annie and what's the backstory there?
I feel in some ways like I've always known Annie. I don't remember how I met her,
Okay.
but
Oh.
I know it probably was online, to be
Okay.
honest, because when I started working as a dancer, I feel like the sisterhood in BC is really strong. At
That's awesome.
least at that point in time, I feel like we were all really looking out for each other.
Okay.
Or trying
That's
to
good.
build
Better than being
that.
catty and have
Yeah.
to watch your back. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, so I was really looking for I wanted to help build that, and I worked really hard to promote good community
Okay.
and safety and etc.
Big thing
And
with
I-
safety. Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's how Annie and I ended up meeting.
Through that and her program or something.
Yeah, and I'm so inspired by her. I think she had a website.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still running.
I think when we talked to her, it was still going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember
Pretty sure.
what it was called.
Might just be the erotic entrepreneur, isn't
No, it was
Oh.
there
No.
was one before that.
it? Okay.
Whatever
Where
she
girls
was
could connect
doing.
and
Oh, yeah.
talk to each
We
other.
talked about that. That's right.
I feel really bad. I can't remember the name
That's
of
right.
it, but I could tell that she was working very hard to have a positive impact on the community, and I just had a lot of respect for that and admired her and became a fan.
Yeah, well, you seem like kindred spirits. You know,
Yeah.
she radiates a lot of positivity, and you give that off too. So I can see why you guys would have been like, probably just like this right from the get go.
She might have been doing massages in clubs when I was on stage.
Ah,
Maybe like the
nice.
beginning of my career and the end. I don't think she does that anymore. So maybe the end when she was doing that.
Well, I just saw her advertise just
Yeah.
recently that she's doing massages again. Oh, thank you. You made a miraculous save.
I
Fuck, I'm already
may
fucking,
have some experience grabbing drinks from falling over. Yeah.
like I'm already gonna fucking mess up the stage for tonight. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to clean it before I.
How horrible is that? I'm assuming drinks aren't allowed on the stage, but some bar drunk guy spills his whole drink across when
Oh,
he's trying
yeah.
to skate.
It happens, but also I think just as frequently, especially if there's a little ledge
Yeah.
right underneath the stage where people put
Which is
their
nice.
drinks, we knock them over.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I think I've had one
I've had
knocked
it
over on me.
knocked over.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And-
worth it.
Yeah. You just have to figure out the right thing to say in order to smooth that over. So usually I just say you came here to get wet, right? No. And then they laugh and they're not mad anymore.
And they can't be like, buy me another drink.
Yes.
You just scooch away.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the risk you take.
Exactly.
So you were talking about with Annie, but so you had the pleasure of performing at her birthday party.
Yeah.
how great of a party was that? We
I was-
would have came.
Yeah, I was honored that she asked.
We're not allowed in Canada.
Oh,
You're not for sure.
uh-oh.
They don't take DUIs to Canada.
Oh, that does take a long time to clear up. Yeah, I heard about that.
Even if it's 20 years old, you're
Oh, mine's
Mhm.
yeah.
30 years old.
Anyway.
Way to bring the podcast down.
Don't worry, I'll edit it out. We're good.
Annie's birthday party. Let's bring it back to a good thing.
That's
That's
what
party. How? Yes, that was like an all-night thing.
Yeah.
I mean, past you. I think you went. What time did you go on? I wanna.
Oh my God, I don't remember, but
Oh, I thought you were like at the headliner at midnight or
I
something.
think I might have been the last show. Yeah. But she had a really incredible lineup.
Mhm.
It was so cool, even just being in the dressing room with all these incredible performers.
You there all night
Yeah.
right from
yeah,
the start
yeah.
and just enjoyed the shows and mingled and.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you
Those are
mentioned
the
somebody
best.
earlier, Nebula? Was
Nia Nebula.
she there as well?
No,
Okay.
she's based in the US now
Okay.
and doesn't really go to Canada that often.
Okay. I don't know.
anymore.
I don't know if I heard her name through Annie or if I just ran across it when we ran across. I don't know, but we follow her on, or the page follows her as well.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
recognize the name.
I
So
do mention her a
Okay.
lot on my social media.
Yeah.
She's like my sister. So yeah.
that could be
We're very
it.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd be a fun one to interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to interview,
I will.
want to go to another good excuse to go to Key West. Yeah,
Oh,
geez.
Key West.
Go to
Well, I
Key
just saw you were
West.
in Key West. Do you spend a lot of time down there?
I do. Yeah,
Okay.
I go stay with her and I work at the Red Garter.
Yeah, I
which
saw you
is
sit with
fun.
Kit.
Yeah. Oh, did you watch that?
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. I'd never heard of it, and I always like to check on the guests and see if they've done any podcasts or anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, stumbled upon it. So I'm like, yeah, it was a short. I mean, it was a short watch. It was 20 minutes long. A nice little conversation. And
Yeah, he told me so I did that podcast I don't know, live podcast ish.
Okay.
I think more than a month ago. So it takes a while for
does.
those to get
Right.
edited and come out, right? So
Yep. I think it just.
Um,
I thought I watched it like Friday or Thursday, and
Yeah.
it had just come out like 3 or 4 days ago. So
yeah, I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah. that's fun. Key West. I've never been down there.
Oh yeah, you got to go then.
Bucket
Complete
list.
party,
let's-
huh?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a party island.
Party Island. Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm
And there's
certain person not invited to that island.
Someone else's birthday.
and there's gentlemen's clubs down there.
Oh yeah.
Plenty of them.
It's also stripper island.
It's Stripper Island.
Oh yeah. The dancers come from all over the world to work there.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
How am I 50 years old and finally hearing? How have you not told me this? What the hell?
Nobody told me.
Yeah, it's
Really?
pretty amazing.
Huh.
Mhm. Because it's really expensive to go there. So
Oh, that's
the
probably why.
people that go there usually have a lot of disposable income.
Yeah.
So they go to the strip clubs and they spend it, and we like to take it from them. So.
Nice. Wow.
Is there any big differences from men in Canada and men here
Mm.
when they're in a strip joint?
Do you want to hold this for a second? Okay, when I'm in Canada and I go into a private dance, this is what Canadian men do. Or they sit on their hands immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in
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 Wisconsin.
the States and like Wisconsin, what are the gentlemen?
We go
do?
this way.
Yeah. Where can I touch? Yeah.
No touching of dancers
touching.
allowed.
Of dancers
God
allowed.
damn it.
yeah. I can't really say for Wisconsin, honestly, because it's my first time
Okay.
here, but US versus Canada as a very broad generalization, that's a difference. You ask somebody who's worked in Quebec, though, you're going to get a different answer. So it varies
Sure.
provincially, just like it varies by state. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But
We're nice boys in Wisconsin.
I do like finding out the peculiarities that will identify for me where a person is from. So if somebody, I don't know if this is going to show up well on your video, but I'll show you what a guy from Ontario does.
All right. Oh, I'm too late.
So put a bill in his mouth and do this.
Yeah, you're gonna get that here. That's. Oh yeah. That's
Alright.
that's
So
standard
Canada, they
practice.
won't do that.
You are pretty close to Ontario. No, guys in Ontario do that.
Okay. Okay.
So I mean, I don't work in Ontario very often, but I do work in Alberta and BC. And if a guy does that, I'm like, I know where you're from.
Now, to be fair, if you're roller skating around and you're the feature, and I'm not going to do that to like that seems a little aggressive, but I've honestly never done it, but you see it a lot,
And some allow it, some don't.
or the dollars like everywhere you can.
You'll go to do it.
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah,
Sponsors, they get off the stage and
Yeah.
they don't have to worry about it. So yeah, I've seen both,
yeah.
The
and I've
laws
done it
are-
myself.
Laws are different everywhere and can be very strange. So, even I've seen clubs that have posters that show exactly the correct shape of panties that you are allowed to have, like how much
Oh,
of
for
your
you.
ass is
Oh,
allowed to
okay.
be shown on stage. Yeah. So it's really interesting, like legally, all
Yeah.
the rules are very
We all have that. Do you have you ever worked any ones that don't drink? Do you have clubs up there that are alcohol free?
in Canada. I know
Like,
that there's
what-
one in
There's one in all of
New
Canada.
Westminster. But okay, so there's no alcohol, but that means that they can have dancers that are younger, right? So
What?
I have not worked in that club, but that's usually the trade-off in Canada.
Younger.
Most clubs are full alcohol and full nude.
Full
Oh,
alcohol and full
okay.
nude. Okay. Yeah, and in the States, it's all over the place. I don't even know what this place is. Is this place
Hmm.
just topless?
No, this is full nude, full alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
which I was surprised.
Yeah, it varies county to county in
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like down by us, it's
Panties on.
yeah, right. They can't go full nude unless it's alcohol free.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, or some places BYOB they can have
yeah, that's a
full
southern thing, right? Like I've been like in North Carolina and stuff where I've been down there, and even normal bars, you bring in your own booze and then they just charge you for the wash. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, I
They
was
call it
just
brown
in
bagging it or whatever.
Pennsylvania, and that was their rule too. But they had the club I was at there, Candies, which is amazing. They have a liquor store like on the same property.
Oh, really?
So you just walk next door, you buy your booze.
That's brilliant.
You walk into the strip club, and they put it in the cooler for you, and
That's
no
so,
problem.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Make
That's fun.
money.
Yeah, it's interesting how we find ways around the
The laws.
or to technically be following the law. Yeah. So my favorite one is the places where you are supposed to have your nipples covered. You
Okay.
can get clear latex and paint it on your nipples, and no one can tell there's anything on there. But if a cop decides to
Oh.
give you a hard time, you can be like, look, it was covered,
The cheaters are always out in front of the testers. That's the way it works. That's the way it goes.
What's just like, why bother, right?
Why bother?
Why is it even just get rid of the law, free the nipple,
No,
So
I-
you're pretty free on that. So there was no issues getting naked for the first time.
No, I tell people because I get asked by women that come into strip clubs, which that is definitely a growing client base for sure, which is awesome.
yeah.
They love my skates, so I
would
love
imagine,
ladies.
yeah.
They ask me often, how is it that you can get up on stage in front of people and be naked? And I tell them the first time that you get naked and a room full of people claps, it's like,
Oh.
it's not that bad. You're right. I deserve applause for this body that I just have, Yeah,
There you go.
it's easier after that.
And then yeah, you got to get that
Like
first
right
one out of the way.
Applause. Oh. Applause.
Now
Maybe
on
Tinkerbell. Yeah.
on average, I assume women are better behaved at the strip clubs than men are when they're like
I
front row.
Doubt it.
Or do they?
No.
No.
They're wilder. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
You wait for that one tonight. She's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, I think because maybe it's still like women have not been going to strip clubs for
Right.
as long as
Very
I mean, it
taboo.
used to be women couldn't even go into strip clubs without a man with them, or maybe they couldn't at all. So the etiquette is not as established. Yeah.
You'll see women coming, just groups of women or two women, not with a man.
Oh, absolutely.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I go to the strip club for fun as a customer.
Yeah, usually see them with someone, like
Mhm.
they came with the dudes or something that night, or
Yeah.
their husbands.
That's probably how it started,
It's how
right?
it
That's how the
started.
women started coming to the clubs, was with their guys.
Mhm.
But you'll
And
go,
then they started to realize, oh, this is fun.
yeah, let's just go.
Yeah, let's just go. So,
Yeah.
plus, if you're a woman in a strip joint, you're single friends, you go to the strip joint, you're gonna get hit, right? I mean, the guys at the place know that they're not going home with this girl. So if you're like, you're gonna get hit on.
Yeah. I mean, gay men use that same strategy.
That's true. That's true.
Have you yeah, so would you ever date a customer? Have you ever dated a customer?
I have dated a customer. Yeah. It doesn't happen very often, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I would think between travel and just, all right, they're a customer, leave it as separate, but
Yeah. It's really not encouraged. That's for sure.
right.
But um it's really challenging for dancers to find people that are understanding and accepting of what we do.
Mhm.
And even if you meet someone in the club, it's very common for, if a relationship begins, for that person to not want you to continue doing your job.
Right.
Yeah.
I can
But
see
you
that.
are more likely to find someone that is understanding of the industry if you meet them through the industry.
Sure.
And
Well-
it is a lonely lifestyle,
Mhm.
like you get a lot of attention because of your job, but it's your job. So finding someone you really connect with, especially when you're traveling. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, we get lonely like everybody else does, but we have really high standards because
Yeah.
we meet a lot of people that
Oh.
all want our attention.
Yeah.
So
And I would imagine it's not-
Exactly. And I think it sounds like you play it off with a joke or whatever, but all the men hitting on you all night long, and how many times they come in there like, yeah, but she really wants me, and you're like,
oh yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
douchebag.
I don't have to pay for this because
Right.
look at me. Yeah, it's funny. I'm just like
You get
pat him
spot
on the
right
head,
away.
like, all right, buddy. Yeah.
I've been patted on the head like 5 times. I always thought that meant they liked me. Shit.
You were always their favorite, okay?
I would imagine though, it's not just what happens on stage. It's like your job is much like a rock star or a comedian, or I mean, you're on the road all the time. It's hard to find somebody who's, even if they're okay with what you do on stage, like, are they okay with you being gone? I mean, you don't seem to sit in one place for very long. What
No.
you call BC home, but how much time do you actually spend there?
Over the last couple of years, not much.
Yeah.
But before that, I was locked down
Oh.
because of COVID for,
Yeah.
a really long ass time. So I think maybe a reaction to that was for me to go on the road for a lot more than I usually do. Yeah. But I'm at the point where I'm a little bit tired of being
Okay.
on the road so much. To make it affordable, I usually have to be gone for 2 or 3 months, and that's tough.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm about ready to slow that down and just start flying out to places.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough as being based in Canada because international travel is more expensive, and finding clubs that are willing to cover that is, I mean,
Yeah.
it's harder and harder. So I usually will drive down to Seattle and fly out of there,
Okay.
and that'll help me get bookings
Sure.
a little
That
bit
makes sense.
easier. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
no thoughts of just moving to the States and
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Oregon. I know
Okay.
what it's like to live in the States, and I immigrated to Canada, and I love it there.
Yeah.
I really, yeah, my home is there. Like, yeah.
Cool.
So
Cool.
BC is beautiful. It's really hard to beat.
I never got to spend any time there during the
Yeah.
day, so flew in for business and left.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been there?
Yeah, just
I've always wanted to go up that way. I've never been to the Pacific Northwest at all. I'm trying to. Oh well, we were in the Gorge in the state of Washington.
Okay. Did you
We-
go for a concert?
Yeah, we're big Dave Matthews freaks.
Oh, cool.
So we were out there for that. So that's really the only time I've ever spent in the Pacific Northwest, and it seems like such a beautiful part of the country. It's like, should get up there. I've always wanted to go to Seattle for like a long weekend or something.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
trying
very
it there.
outdoorsy, so it's ideal if you like outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
So how long ago did you become the feature? How many years did you put in as a rotation dancer?
Well, because of the system in Canada, it's kind of like just immediately as a showgirl, I had to be doing what features do in the US at a little bit, like it was not as high of a bar because all of the showgirls are doing the same thing. So when you go to a club, there could be 5 features that are all on the lineup, and you
Oh.
don't have to be the best show of the night. You obviously want to do your best, but as a feature in the US, you have to prove that the bar like has a reason to be paying you, because they're usually not paying the rest of the girls that go on stage. So I feel like that was 9.5 years ago that I
Okay.
started as a showgirl in Canada. Yeah. And then I came down to the US 2.5 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of as the pandemic was wrapping up, then you started to.
Oh yeah. After a while I just had to get out.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what a
So,
great way to.
ran out of money, like being stuck in my house for months and months and months. I think we were officially locked down for 8 months, and then the bars were opening and closing a lot.
You didn't just become a Zoom showgirl?
No. I tried the online
Did you?
scene and I just
Gonna ask if
find
you
It's not the
live
same.
ever thought
Yeah,
about
it's
like
not
an
the same.
OnlyFans,
Right.
which is,
Yeah. I tried it because,
Oh, you did?
like that's what everybody was doing to
Yeah.
try to get by, but
Right.
I can't be on call for $5. It's not.
Absolutely. Well, it's very similar to what we do here, and most of ours are done over Zoom, but nothing beats the conversation when you're in the same room. And it's the same, you need that personal connection to really have a conversation. And that's why this podcast is better than most.
yes.
This particular episode, because it's hard. Zoom calls are hard, and we fight through it, and guests do a great job, but this is so much better.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited because I'm gonna lay this out. I want to lay this story out, and you can tell me if what I'm saying is factually true or not. But I contacted you about doing this, and you're like, well, it'd be cool to do it in person. I'll see if I can book a place near you. And I went, cool. And then like a week later, you went, I booked a place near you. And I went, holy shit, nobody's ever followed through on something like that.
It was a really good motivator for me to reach out,
Yeah.
and see if I could get a booking. And I'm really grateful that Lickity Splitz
Yeah.
booked me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Great
right.
timing.
Yeah. It all worked out.
It worked out, and here we are.
It also
Travel.
proves that all you got to do is ask sometimes.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
We found that out, and you ask, and they can only say no. People can only say no.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a pre-show like ritual? Do you have are you superstitious at all? Will you go like take a nap and then, put some salt over your shoulder and stuff before you go on or anything? What's the routine pregame?
Well, I try to make sure that I set myself up to feel as physically good, as I can, warming up and eating well and being well rested, etc. But one thing that I do, because I do still get nerves before I go on stage.
Do you?
I think that's an indicator that I'm about to do something that I love and I care about how it's going to go.
For sure.
I'm grateful. I have had moments where I haven't had that feeling and the show doesn't go well because I'm burnt out. So the nerves are good, but in order to calm myself down, I will like touch the wall or touch the ceiling and just like try to control my breathing and think about, what's really important in life and that what I'm doing is what I love and I'm not curing cancer. I'm just gonna make some people smile and forget about their troubles for a while.
Spreading smiling.
Right.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Not curing cancer, but maybe helping somebody deal with it for one night anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we all need the escape. We all need to be happy. That's why we do this thing, right? Like it's the same reason as you're hoping that you'll talk to somebody and you'll be like, oh, that was fun. And then somebody watches and goes, oh, that was fun.
The
So
connections we make have been
Yeah.
they're wonderful
Yeah.
through the years.
So I got to know before we let you go, have you had any bad roller skating accidents on stage?
Thank you.
You ever dare and broken a tailbone or?
I don't know if this is real wood, but
This looks real.
right.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking jinx you, right? Jesus Christ. Son of a bitch.
If she gets hurt tonight,
No, before I learned that I need to walk downstairs backwards in skates, I tried to go forwards and I almost
jump off
failed.
the stage, do a side kick, and then
Woo-hoo.
I try not to take those big risks,
okay, all right.
I don't drink at work at all. I have had some drinks when I went out roller skating for fun and almost broke my ankle, and then I can't work.
Right? Yes.
So
With
no,
a couple drinks, you can do more tricks. You can bend a little more. You can.
well, I think there's
Safe
enough
not to.
risk involved in what I'm doing that I can't be unnecessarily risky. Yeah, so I just try to be cautious. I forgot what the original question was.
Hey,
Forgot an accident or got hurt.
Oh, yeah, almost fell down the stairs. Other than that, no.
Good. Okay. It's just the patrons that you knock over in their head.
Occasionally, yeah.
Why didn't you ask that question? I wish you would ask that question. Now I'm gonna feel like a real asshole tonight if she.
If you could, yeah, you won't.
I might
You won't.
pretend just to scare you. No, I do a move where I shouldn't be telling you this, but I do a move where I slide across the stage and pretend
Oh.
like I'm gonna slide right into somebody, and if I get a scream, it makes my whole week. Yeah. Sometimes people
Nice.
think that I have fell, but that came from roller derby for sure. You have to learn how to do a bunch of slides on the ground, and yeah, I love bringing the derby stylistically into what I do.
I'm very excited. I can't wait to see this show. And we're gonna just so you know, we're gonna do a little wrap up segment after to tell people how the show went. We won't not too much spoilers, but just to give them the
They got
411
experience
on
it
the
themselves,
show,
like
because
we're gonna.
I'm really excited. It's gonna be fun.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much. I'm really glad that you guys are going to come catch the show. and-
Absolutely.
and yeah, thanks for having me on your podcast.
Well,
you.
it helped. Yeah, thank you for being so. I just draw a blank of the word.
Perfect.
Perfect.
We'll go with perfect.
Accommodating. And thank you to Lickity Splitz for
Ding,
being
ding, ding, ding.
so accommodating, opening the doors early for
Yeah,
us
we
to come
can't-
in
we
here and
can't,
do this thing.
Thank you enough. That's right. They didn't have to. So
Look
we
at a lot of
appreciate
things I've done in a strip joint. I've never been in one before they were open.
it.
So
Yeah, you get
Little-
a real treat behind the scenes.
right, a little
Nice.
behind the scenes.
Look.
See all these decorations that they put up?
I love it.
Aw,
I know. Made me feel real special.
I love it.
tell everybody where they can find you. What's the
Mhm.
best place to see you or to find out where your upcoming shows are?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Ella Hot Wheels. You can go to ellahotwheels.com and send me a message there. I've got my schedule, my calendar on my website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Upcoming shows seems like always busy,
On the road.
Yep.
On the road.
always rolling.
Like a rock star, like you said.
You are like a rock star. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
I can't wait to see you spin and the music that you're gonna put with your act. I can't wait.
Cool.
Now I just got to find out who I have to bribe to be able to bring you on the stage tonight. So I'll be working on that. All right, have fun.
Who are you talking to? What's going on?
Thank you for listening. The tavern is closed for now, but we'd love to have you back for more fun next time. Seriously though, get your asses out of here.